Hi, this is Elliot W6EL, and today we're going to take this IC-736 with a damaged display and go from this to this. We're going to fix this radio up and make it very nice. I've got a new display board and we're going to put it in and see if the Japanese version of this radio is compatible with the other display unit. So stay tuned. So here is the board. This is the replacement display board I got on eBay. It looks pretty good. It's from an IC-736. As you can see, there's a lot of complication here. Look at all these wires and jumpers here. Look at all the I/O, like these connectors here. This is not going to be an easy retrofit. I don't want to take the screen out and just swap it because I think that could be dangerous. It could crack or something and that would be bad. So I'm going to do a full swap from the board that's inside here over to this one. And that's going to be really complicated. This actually is two boards in the faceplate. One is the button board, and the one behind it is this board. So we have to take off the faceplate, take off all the buttons, all the knobs, all the screws, pull the two boards apart from each other. They're held in with these multi-pin connectors without cracking the screen. Get this one out and then put this one in. That could be pretty complicated. But it's going to be fun, and I look forward to trying it. If you look online, you'll see a lot of these radios have cracked screens, and that's true for both this colorful Japanese version and the other version. They're both very frequently messed up. I don't know why that is. I'm very curious, and I hope in the process of taking this apart, I'll have some time to make some measurements and kind of see what's going on with this. I'm also curious if the voltage range driving this screen is the same as this one. That could be kind of interesting to find out. So yeah, a lot going on here. Let's dive in. Let's take a look inside. Again, we have these screws. This is not the right kind of screw to go against a flat surface, but they're used in many radios by this company. Almost like it was made to open that way. So we've got two main ribbon cables here and here. Power, voltage regulator, this, whatever this is, and then a whole bunch of cables over here. Well, really, I guess just one. This is something else. I would really like to look at the signals on the LCD. So let's take a look at that. There we go. That's the LCD being driven right there. And let's get our triggering straightened out. Excellent. Looks like it's about 5 volts. Now if we can find the common lead, we can actually look at this properly. It should be, plus or minus 5. Oh, look at that. How did they do that? That would be difficult to do. That's pin 1. So pin 1 is probably the reference. Let's just dig in carefully and see what it looks like. Yeah, that is what they're actually driving it with right there. 10.24 volts peak to peak with a nice dead zone. Look at that. Let's save that picture. We're going to want to compare this to the other LCD. There we go. So to get this image, I probed on what is, I suppose, pin 1, the far right of the screen, this orientation right here, and a couple pins down where there was something turned on. We can see the LCD is seeing this as a plus or minus about 10 volt signal, 10.24 volts here. And the reason they do that is so they don't age the display too much and they turn it on and off properly. I kind of wondered if there would be a way to increase the life of the screen by possibly increasing that voltage, but I don't think we're going to get it any higher than that. Okay, let's start taking apart the panel. There are a few spots we need to take care of here before we get too far. That's the meter lamp. I think I'm going to elect to leave this headphone jack if I can. I don't want to have to take off the front panel just to get that jack out. So I have to remove this resistor here. There we go. tuck that away for later. What else do we need to take off here? This is the VFO. So there's that. This jumper goes over to this knob here. It's RIT or something. Pull it out. So that was the RIT, and that is the VFO. Okay. This doesn't come out, whatever this is. That one doesn't, this one doesn't. These don't. So these are just gonna be in the way. Oh, this one can come out. There we go. So that goes right up to that board there. From this connector up to here. Did you get that? Okay, good. Okay. Let's see. That came from this connector. This came from the headphone jack. VFO, the knob over here. All right. Oh. So this and this are tied in together, and that will get in the way. So we got to undo that to get out that gray coax, which goes over to here. Yeah, okay. There it is, okay. Now they're not tied together. Oh, got a little flex cable here for these two knobs. What is that? That's probably the channel. Yep. And this one, passband tuner. Okay. Okay. One more to unsolder is the meter. The meter connects here to R1 and W1. We're keeping the same meter. There it goes. Okay. Now the screws, and then the board. Tight. That's how they look.
looks like these shield screws are part of the support system. I see this one right here going into the body. Let's take that out too then. Come on. Soldered in as well. So yeah, these screws are for some purpose beyond holding the shield. Is there one more? Okay. Oh, the mic jack. But also maybe this screw right there. That looks possibly like it goes into a metal point. Really hard to say if it's not part of just the plastic. Oh, I can look at my other screen. Just happen to have an extra one over here. And this one, the screws have been removed, so these little screws must play a role in supporting it. This one's not very tight. That's how that looks. Pretty small. Okay, what else? I think the tabs can stay in because this one has the tabs in. I'm looking for an extra screw here. I don't see anything. All right, let's get the mic jack out. I should use a spanner to get that out, but I don't have one. It does have to come out. You know, you can do this, but if you mess up, you permanently change the chassis. Oh, it fits good. Okay. It's not bad. There. Wasn't tight at all. Now it gets a little sticky, huh? There we go. Okay, so that's loose now. It's falling in. It's good. Okay. No hurry. And we know that the headers in the center are holding it up for sure. It's here and here. Just a question of getting the rest of the board up. Let's just try a little push. Oh yeah, look at that. It is loose. Right there. Over here. We're looking over here. Pretty loose. I can see the header in there. Pushing up on these two pods here, that's these two. You hear something coming. Yeah, that's those connectors. Wish there was something to push on this side too, but there isn't. There are thin traces on the inside here I don't want to damage. It's here and here. This is where I'm, pivoting. Give it a little bit there. I can feel it coming. There it goes. Felt that. It's really close now. This circuitry here looks mildly okay to pry against. Oh. There is a screw right here that's just poking over the board, and it's not going to go past it. There's also one here. And that one's pretty close too. So let's take those out. These are basically the ones holding the plastic panel on. I guess we're going to get to see behind it. I don't know. Just hoping not to. Now that's where those screws make sense, because there's a countersink here. So they just use the same ones on the side for no reason. I guess because the threads matched. The heads don't. All right, there's that. Now come on out. Oh, yeah. It's very loose. Look at that, there it is. Woohoo! Take these legs and point them up. Something is a little tight down here, but we'll get it. It's moved so much that it's just going to be a matter of wiggling it around until it comes out. I think it's right there. Right here, there's interference. This board. And that's for those two knobs. If you just rock it slightly that way, it would not be interference though. Doesn't want to go that way at all. To take this little board out is going to be a real pain. There. Okay, so come on. Stop holding on. Wiring harness. I'm going to something else. Should have just clipped every single one before I started, because that's almost what's happened here. There it is. Okay. Ooh, interesting. This was starting to delaminate or something. Or maybe that's just tape right there. See that? Peeling. fiberglass tape, I think. It looks a little different. It's definitely messier than the other board. Let's get them next to each other. By messier, I mean the solder quality around the CPU. This chip here looks better than that one there. Are they the same CPU? Yeah. Different date codes, but same part number. Really like to get this out of this harness so I can take a better look at it. Ugh, come on. There's one. There's the other. Oh, almost. Okay. So there's what the inside of that looks like. That's the button board over here. This is the board I didn't want to have to remove because I have to take off the faceplate and the button board to get to that screw that holds it in. I don't think I want to do that. So yeah, not a lot of access to the display board from the other side. You get these cutouts here, this square here for something they thought about doing but didn't. That's about it. This little rubber piece is loose here. That's okay. All right, so then the cool thing we get to look at here are these two boards. This is the Japanese board, and this is the other board. Now the displays look different, of course. We know that. But otherwise, similar. They both kind of have dirty soldering with the flux left on and other stuff. I can see that these through-hole resistors here were clipped after soldering, but on this one they were not. They were clipped before soldering or something. What else? Even the parts are oriented the same way. So the same pick and place machine put those down, probably put these down. Well, they're polarized, so they'd have to be anyway. Never mind that. But look at the dodgy soldering on this. Look at how dirty this is. See all that? I mean, I'm kind of surprised it worked. I think I'd do better than that in my toaster. Ugh. Okay. And as for this screen, can we fix the screen like that? You know, pressing on it is not, well, maybe it is moving it a little bit. Yeah. You can sort of move the defects around. Not much though. They're definitely in there. There's no mistaking it. Well, okay. And then if you wanted to take out this for some reason, it looks to me like this is not a connector, and you would be up for unsoldering about 100 solder points. Yay. You could probably pry this open and peek behind it if you were so inclined to see, you know, underneath it. But I don't think you're going to get very far without unsoldering it. Doesn't look like pins to me. I mean, you know, pins and sockets would have been nice. So if you wanted to change the color of your LCD, you could change out the bulbs behind here, but that would be not easy. I think there's one example on the internet where somebody made it blue, and it did look pretty cool. All right, Well, so long. Time to move on to the new one. That's this one. I don't know how to test this really before I put it in. I would like to, because I don't know how good this screen is. I mean, certainly this one looks messed up and this one doesn't, but you can't really tell until you turn it on, right? Ooh, I got a freebie. Look at this, an extra rubber bezel. See that? That's inside on this one, floating around. Okay. Nice little grounding clip here. I think the first thing I'll do is remove diode 15 while I'm in here. It'll just be so much cleaner to take it out, you know, before it gets in there. Diode 15 is the Mars Cat mod, also known as the 60 meters mod. There we go. Took that guy right out of there. Better than I could have done from the other side. Clean it up a little bit. It looks pretty good. Yeah. All right, now they look the same. Oh, there is one other thing that I noticed. It's right there. Look carefully at that. Little solder defect. On the other board, it's not there. It would be right there. Yeah. So we'll take that out. You don't need a little piece of solder floating around in here. It's right there. See that? Oh, there it is. Yeah, it came loose. Good thing I saw it. Huh. Yeah. It's probably been in there 80 years. Real quick here, I noticed a small difference between the two boards. It was hard to see, but under here is where the EEPROM is, which presumably holds something that is loaded for the CPU to run when it boots up. There's the chip. If you look carefully, in the reflection of the shield, you can see the revision. The Japanese display is a -1 on the EEPROM, and this one is a -3. I don't think you can see in the video, but it's in there. There's the -3 right there. So I don't know what that difference accounts for, but there's a difference. It could just be a minor revision that got made to all radios that were made later. Hard to say. Another interesting observation here is this flex print cable going to the microphone connector. It's flex all the way. Even here where it meets the pins, it's still flexible. So they didn't do a rigid flex assembly. It's just flex the whole way. And that means this isn't going to tolerate a whole lot of bending and motion, which means I only install it once. But also, you got to tighten this up really good against the chassis so that it's not wiggling when you mate and demate the microphone. Now, how did they get this into the board?
Let's see. That's where it got soldered on. So it was a separate ribbon assembly, full flex, and it got soldered on right there. It's not clear to me if there's pins involved or not. The back doesn't show anything. Those holes are empty. But maybe there's some small wires that poke through or bent over and soldered on top, and there's probably adhesive underneath. I think that is what happened. Yep. I thought maybe before I put this board in here, I would take care of these sharp points that were causing so much difficulty during the extraction of this board. Let's take a look at that. These points up here, I could just trim them a little bit. It might be better. I'm going to try that. He's right in there. Oh yeah, that's significant. You see that? How much shorter those are? That's what we're going for there. Make these a lot shorter and the board will slide in easily. I have to tilt it down so the little pieces don't get in any further. That's nice and short. I'll do that here too, and then we'll clean it up. Ooh, I don't know where that went. Fair amount of gunk in there, actually. That shaking sound is these buttons that don't have anything to connect to. There's a old bezel. Put that aside. Yeah, so those are shorter now. I might just retouch one solder job. It looks a little questionable there. Yeah, it's nice. Okay. I don't think those will be a problem anymore. That's pretty nice. All right, so moving on here. I'm gonna clean this up a little bit first, actually. Get one last look at the board here before it goes in. Take off this. And again, don't ever use this kind of tape near semiconductors. It's a real hazard with ESD. Worse than many other tapes. If you do use it, peel it very gently. Go slow. There we go. think with this headphone jack, I'll use the old one, which is still in here. I mean, that's the easy thing to do, right? So let's take this guy out right here. I don't think we need that anymore. Come on. There it goes. So that's the ICOM headphone jack. That's a big one, huh? You see all the flux still on there from the factory. I don't know why they don't clean these off better. You can clearly see yellowed old flux here. A little bit of alcohol would have taken care of that. Okay, putting the display in. Interesting washer arrangement here. So this is the on the outside. And what is this? I don't think our other one has it. It doesn't. Or it's, you know what, it's probably inside here. Yeah, it is. It's slipped over to the side too. Look at that. It's right there. So we'll just kind of keep that in there. It's been rattling around for a while. It should be okay. A little bit longer, right? So there's that extra one. I'm pretty sure this board passes through this hole, which means lift all this stuff up here and get this through here first. Okay. The VFO wiring probably comes through there. We know where the meter wiring goes. It's right here. Look how the mic jack just fell right into place. Like it was designed to go there or something. And over on this side, the flex just goes up there. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad. Of course, the big thing to line up is those headers. If I jerk this too hard, it'll just rip it out. If it hasn't already. Yeah, this is not going to be fun. Everything is in the way. There's that again. There, go down there. Okay. These two knobs here have to go down. I've got this feeling that something isn't going to line up. And that's just how it is. I like these cables here. It's close though. really don't want to smash this flex. That's for sure. Let me zoom in a bit for you. There you go. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. There it is. It's not pushed down yet. Let's look at the mating at that header. Again, that's this multi-pin job here and here. We can't really see. It's a blind mate for sure. All the screw holes line up, all the cables line up, all the openings line up. And look at that, it slid right past those solder joints this time. So it's probably okay, right? Let me take a look from up here. I think it's all right. Mic check feels good. Yeah, let's go for it. For the mating, I'm just going to push it down evenly, I think, on both sides here. Oh, it doesn't feel like anything right now. What I mean is I pressed down on it and it didn't feel like it was going in. So let's see if it did. Does it just come right back up? It does. Okay. So I've probably got some up and down to do here until it's just right. That looks right. But I can't really see in there. More light. Let's see that again. I don't know. Is there anything else I can use to line it up? I don't see much. I really don't. Everything else looks lined up. That feels right. But what about this side? Don't forget the screen has to line up too. There, that's it right there. Yeah. I forgot the bezel. No, there is a bezel. Let's see if it's lined up. Seems like it might be. I don't like that sound. What? I think it is. I think it's good. Oh, There's a bit of an offset here at this side. See that? Why is that? There's something under there that shouldn't be? Or is it just not quite rocked into place? It seems like the same offset's here. So I'm going to guess the panel's kind of tilted like this. I need to get it down the front. And maybe that's just a matter of kind of wedging it in there carefully. It did look kind of sunk in. Yeah, well, if it is, it isn't by much. You only live once. Let's get it down there. I took a careful look at it off camera. It really was pretty far out of alignment, so I popped it back out. And the issue was that rubber bezel seems to be in the way of it seating all the way down. It really annoys me. It was so close. So here we go. Let's look at it carefully this time on the way in. There's that bezel. Do I even need that bezel? It's supposed to have it, but I mean, come on. At this point, do I care? Maybe I don't. Okay. We'll just try angling it down on the way in. This is a better viewpoint for sure. Down here I can see right inside there. It's going to be tough because, oh, it's already lined up better. Look at that. Maybe not so bad. Anyway, I'm not sure how to get the pins lined up now. You get one or the other. Kind of feels like it's off a little bit. Okay. It's not going in like last time. Now it's off again. Back up you go. It's got to really be in there. Gee, sometimes I feel like I'm just not cut out for this. So that's got to be flat when it goes in, and this one over here has to be flat when it goes in, which it's not right now. Not by a long shot. Pretty soon these cables are going to start snapping off if I don't get this right. That felt pretty good. It's not down. Oh, there it goes. That's down all the way. And if this inserts, which it does, then we got it. Okay, look at that. Nice and flush here and here. And how's it look on the front? Gorgeous. Okay. Oh yeah, we're getting close. Yeah, that lines up. This is much, much better. Okay. I'm glad I didn't do it the other way the first time. I think I'm going to come back to this later. Looking good. You know what? I better put a screw or two in so it doesn't move. There we go. Not tight, just in. All right. I think I'm going to retighten this microphone before I forget. Maybe not. Looks good. All right. Back over here, let's put the screws in. None of these are going to go in tightly until I see everything lining up. Just get them a hair above touching the circuit board. Kind of like to run it in and pull it back a little bit, just see how it's going. I think I should have pulled this one back a little more. There we go. This one, a little more, okay. Now over here, this screw is important because if you don't do this, you can't press those little buttons on the front. Actually seemed like it went in okay. All right, and this one. Now we're down to the pointy screws and these really tiny ones around the display. Should I wire it up first? No, because then going back in to do the screws will be annoying. Let's do it all right now. All right. These are the little screwdrivers that toys come with to open the battery compartments. But I suppose they're useful for this too. They're even slightly magnetized. It's cool. This one is smaller than the others. I don't know where it goes though. I'll just pick it for one. Could be this one, I don't know. Oh yeah, it feels different. Okay. Yep. That's where that one goes. Okay. These screws hold the panel around the edges. I'll put some of those in. Well, yeah, I'll do that. Then we'll be done with the screws. That'll be nice. Need not be super tight because it's not going to fall off. Those all look good, and we're left with 4. These 4 go in the corners. Put them back in here for now. We do need to do a little bit of soldering. Oh, and I gotta tighten the rest of the screws too. So while the iron's warming up, let's just go around and tighten everything. Everything lined up well, so I'm not too concerned about it. Make sure those buttons are good. good. You know, they don't feel as snappy as before. That one's good. This one's fine. Maybe they're not lined up perfectly. You should be able to get a response like this when you click the button. So probably they're not going down all the way. Great. All right, so back out the screw. I'll just put my finger here and feel. Oh yeah, okay. If I press really hard, do they do better? Yes, they do, definitely. See that moving there? It doesn't help that this harness here is basically in the way. But taking that switch out means taking the front panel off, so no. Okay, that's pretty tight. I don't want to go tighter than that. How are they? Oh, they're great. Good. Okay. These knobs made it through. This one's got kind of a coarse feel to it. I don't know what that is. Anyway, we got to get this done. So small screws now. I'm trying to feel the torque as I go. Yeah, that's where I want to stop, right about there. Okay. Did I forget anything? Probably. Don't know what it is though. Oh, this one. That looks loose. No, it's not. Okay, that one. Okay, connections. First we'll do the connections that go within this board. And that's going to be not this, which goes, you know, to the main board somewhere else, but little connections that went, you know, across like that. And this will be a major source of confusion, I'm sure. This guy does go over here. Yeah. Okay, that's one. And we've got the VFO. These wires were bent into these positions for 30 years, so they kind of are going where they need to go without a lot of work. except this one. And I know this one goes right here. I mean, there's no doubt. It's just giving me a hard time on insertion. Are you supposed to? Oh, okay. Just pull out. Okay. Yeah, all right. There goes that. That's in. Now we lock it down. Perfect. They don't all have that. Maybe they do. Yeah, that one's got it. Cool. Might as well get this one popped out over here with full access. All right, what else connects across? Maybe this one? What is this one? The notch. I might just go to the notch board. Looks like it went like this, so okay. But what about this guy? Where does this go? Over there? Could it? I don't know. Got the meter wiring. This is the voltage regulator for the light circuit, I think. This probably went there. Oh, okay, there it goes. That's that one. This one goes here, and that reminds me I've got to solder that little wire there. Okay. This one under here. Just like that. Okay. Looking pretty good here. Just kind of wondering about this. Oh, I think this goes to the other main board. Like that. Yeah. So we might be good here. I think so. Let's clean it up and do some soldering. So I was looking at this board, checking the wiring, and I noticed something. This is incorrect. That's where the 12-volt power is supposed to come in. So where does this go? Well, let's take a look at the wiring diagram and see. So if we check on the wiring diagram, which is page 87 of my service manual, you'll see that J11 right here is supposed to connect over to, I think it's J9 on the main board, which is right there. And it carries 5 volts and 8 volts from the regulator, so that's pretty important. I want to make sure we get that right. And then this one here actually connects from this guy. That's the 12 volts from the power supply. This rather important looking one, where does he go? This is upside down right now. He probably goes over here. I'm going to guess J14. Should I guess? No, I'll check it. Let's see, J14 on the service manual. Where is, there it is. That goes to the, oh, it goes right to the back for the external tuner. And I think that's what these wires go to. They feel thicker than everything else. Yeah, it's wiggling. It's a good sign. Okay, so let's plan how to do this. This has got to go up here like that. These screws go together. A lot of wiring going on here. That one comes from the top. This one comes from the side. The rest of these all go on the bottom here. So I think most of the work will take place like this. Let's lay that down very carefully. I know why they have this choke here, but it sure is annoying. Okay. So most of these are going down here. I'm going to print this document real quick. This page just needs to be printed out. Now we can follow along. Yeah, it's legible. Okay. Let's turn off this noisy computer. All right. Let's just have that available in case we need it. There's a lot of these that traverse together as they exit the building. That would be these. That one goes to the auto tuner. This one also goes back here. These two I don't remember. Yeah, it looks like it goes that way too. So I think I'll tie these together until about here. Let's do that. And I think ICOM had a tie off right here too. I'll do it gently at first because I could be wrong about how the wires want to be put in. Okay, just kind of like that for now. I think I need to put in the flex print cables now so I can see where they go. Well, you know what, that won't be too bad when it's flopped open if I do the wiring neatly. So maybe I'll leave these for later. We'll see. All right, there's the tuner. This is a J19 and J20. If we were to look on here, J19 and J20 go into harness number G, up here, around here like this. Can we find G? It's probably on the page that it didn't print. I imagine it goes around and they show the tuner in the back or something, because these are not the tuners. So okay, it's not one of these. That lines up with my current understanding. So let's go for it. Okay, first one in. Now all of these. Now I know the biggest one goes back here. It's the only place that would accommodate such a wire. By the way, while we're here, that capacitor right there, C217, that's why this radio has a roll-off at 500 hertz and has terrible bass response in the receiver. We're going to put a larger value in parallel with that later. Okay. Where do these go? They just kind of, I mean, here and here. There. There. I don't know. There. There. Probably so, huh? Okay. I have a pretty good photographic memory for things like this. The only problem is I don't always remember to load the film and press the button, but sometimes I do. When I'm done, I'm going to compare a picture and see how it looked before I did all this. Suppose I could even watch the video of the wires coming out. Imagine that. Okay, looks like we're okay here. J33 is for the optional tone board for 6 meters, 2 meter repeaters on FM. And that's not connected in what I have here. And this was correct. J31 was there. And I verified the tuner one too. So I think we're okay. I will continue. One thing cool about this wire is I think it just goes straight to the back. You know, I can wiggle it and feel it back here. So if you wanted 4 wires going to the back for some other purpose, you know, since it has a built-in tuner, you could repurpose that. Let's get this in there. Okay, I think we've done all we can on this side. Put a couple of these in here, but I don't want to go too obsessive until I know it's good. Then I'll go OCD on it, you know. And unlike the original harness, I'm not going to tie in wires that aren't going here to this main artery. Okay. Do one here. Looks like there probably was one anyway. All right, just leave all those the way they are. Now we got to go to the other side very carefully. Might just screw this in as a way to get there without causing a problem. Let's do that. Oh gosh, these screws again. All right, hold on a second. We're going to get a replacement for this. I hate this screw. Okay, so I went through my miscellaneous screws. It has to be very short so it doesn't run into this board here. That little board there and this. So a lot of my screws were too long. I think I've got one that will work, maybe even two. The other constraint is it can't stick out a whole lot because the case has to go on. But anything's better than this. There. Oh, very nice. Okay, let's get a second one. There. Even looks like it's alanine. Okay, to get the top, we're going to put the original bottom on, but not slide it on properly. We're going to have it kind of in the back. Ooh, this needs to go out the other way. Okay. There. Okay. Now this, just kind of put it on here. There. Now I can look inside here without messing anything up. Now this goes over this mess and into this hole. So let's just do it. I hate these cables. I know it saves a lot of time when you're making something, but they sure are not designed for multiple mate cycles. A lot of these wires are pushing up. Maybe they need a little cable tie down first. That might help. I could take it out later. And this, can you just go up there? Okay. And it just comes right out. It doesn't even care. Okay. Doesn't seem to go any further though. Goes to the PLL. Kind of need that. I don't see any debris. Maybe there's a missing piece. Maybe that's the little white piece I saw of plastic from this, from the corner. I think it may have been. So we'll have to be very careful with this. Maybe glue it on later. Ugh. It's in, but it will not stay. Here's the voltage regulator, which had the metal contacts facing up. Yep. Okay. There. Okay. Everybody's tucked in. I wonder if we have the same fate on this other wire over here. We might. Yeah, it looks like it's missing a little piece. Great. Oh, we can compare. This would basically mean the person who demated this just ripped out the cables. Well, I don't know. Mine seem the same. Or do they? I can't really tell. I don't know. Let's get that last flex poked up through here. There we go. I'll pull up these clips first. That seat's really nice in there. And I'll push these down. It grabs. Okay. So I have the right procedure. It just doesn't grab over here. How are we going to fix that? I have to think about that one. This went like that, and then in here for the 12 volts. And on the IC-738, I think that goes to a switch, and then the switch jumps into that spot. We should be able to turn it on soon. Ooh. Big moment there. Okay. Wiring in the 120 volts. Piece of tape on here. I hate this tape. Okay. Just realized y'all couldn't see that. That connection is right here for 12 volts, 120, and then 120 back to the board there. It's all connected right now. The only problem may be this this strap here, which is not going to be easy to fix. I think I'll tape it in or something. I don't know. I was looking at how these connectors work for their flex print cables, and basically the space, this little gap here, decreases when you press it down. Watch. See, it's a little bit thinner. That keeps it clamped. This other one down here doesn't seem to do that. I don't see any debris stuck in it. So my idea of fixing this is to put a piece of tape behind the flex print cable, make it thicker so that it stays in a little bit better on its own. And then maybe to put a bead of adhesive across it if it really goes in properly. So there's that. Just a piece of tape on the back. I don't know if I put it deep enough, but let's see what happens. Okay, It's in. And it's in far enough. It doesn't have to go in for this to work. Now I put those down. It's still very loose. It's better. But it would just come right out if you pulled it. So I don't know what to ultimately do about that. Maybe we'll just risk it and put a piece of non-ESD safe tape right inside there. There. I don't think it'll go anywhere. It's probably safe to power it on if we're careful. Suppose I'll fold it all the way up as it would be in use. I'll put one annoying screw in. Ooh, this screw goes right next to that resistor, so it needs to be very small. I guess I'll use the original annoying one. Can also bend that leg in a little bit. Wouldn't hurt. There we go. Okay, it's all screwed in. Now for powering this on, I want to make sure it's not transmitting. I'm going to go ahead and press the button. Then I'll control it from a switch over here. Okay, we have the radio here. Everything is connected. And we're going to turn it on and see what happens. Ready, set, go. There it is. Look at that. Wow. Amazing. Looks good too. There's no antenna connected, so I'm not hearing anyone, but this is good stuff.
Self-propelled inertia. Just one, two little rascals here, thank you. By two, QSF. and they look at you and they say, I like this person. We share common thoughts, and I think they can really sense your being and your presence and your demeanor. Yeah, they do have a special spot in your heart. I've had many. I can remember almost every one of them, all the way back to where I was still in high school many years ago. And my parents always had cats, and we always had a favorite cat. And they all had very specific characteristics and things that you were very strong in the memory. So yeah,
Well, that's it. It was more difficult than I thought it would be, but it works. The next videos will show how to swap out the 10-watt PA board with the 100-watt PA board, enhance the receive audio, and perform the full alignment. If you enjoyed this video, please leave me a comment below. Thank you, and 7-3.